Hi there, Spanish Grammar Guy here on Focus 15, here to help you with your Spanish grammar. Today, I want to focus on a very specific aspect of Spanish grammar, and that is the relative adjective cuyo and its variants. So first of all, what is a relative adjective? Well, a relative adjective links a noun to additional information about it, like whose in English. It relates the noun to the additional information, hence it's relative. Now in Spanish, cuyo acts like an adjective that has to agree in gender and number with the noun it refers to. Now one point to note is that cuyo is quite formal in tone, so it's more common in written Spanish than in everyday speech, and it's not used very much in conversation. So cuyo translates as whose and has different forms according to the noun it relates to. And here are those forms. We have cuyo, referring to masculine singular nouns, cuya, referring to feminine singular nouns, cuyos, referring to masculine plural nouns, and cuyas, referring to feminine plural nouns. Note that it goes before the noun it modifies and not after, and we'll see with some examples. So let's have a look at these examples here. El escritor cuyo libro ganó un premio vive en Madrid. Translation: the writer whose book won a prize lives in Madrid. And here, libro is masculine and singular, so cuyo is used. So this is how cuyo is used in a formal tone in written Spanish. In conversation, you wouldn't use it. You'd say something like, for example, el escritor que tiene un libro premiado vive en Madrid. Let's look at another example. Las estudiantes cuyas mochilas estaban mojadas entraron a clase. The students whose rucksacks were wet went into class. Here, mochilas is feminine and plural, and so cuyas is used. However, in conversation, you might say something like, los estudiantes entraron a clase con mochilas mojadas. The students went into class with wet rucksacks. Okay, so using cuyo is concise and it is formal in written Spanish. Another example, la profesora cuyo coche fue robado. The teacher whose car was stolen. In spoken Spanish, you might say something like, la profesora a quien le robaron el coche, or la profesora a la que le robaron el coche, or even el coche de la profesora fue robado. These are more common in conversation. So let's have a quick practice at some of these examples. Try and translate these sentences, and of course pause the video to give you time to do those translations. The student whose phone rang left the class. Translate that. It could be something like, el estudiante cuyo teléfono sonó salió de clase. Another one, the family whose dog is lost is upset. Pause the video. La familia cuyo perro se perdió está angustiada. So here are a couple of tips and common mistakes when using this relative adjective cuyo and its variants. Don't make cuyo agree with the possessor, the person. It agrees with the possessed noun. And cuyo is relatively formal. If you sound too formal in conversation, use a different construction like de quien or a quien or de plus a noun, for example. That's it for now. Please subscribe to Focus 15 with the Spanish Grammar Guy for more Spanish grammar tips. See you soon, and thanks for watching.